here, and welcome back to Omen Adventures, the first episode of uh, me playing the Dragon Age role-playing game. Uh, so this is sort of a point 0.5 episode where I'm just going to create a character. I actually already rolled up a character for this game that I've started to piece and pan out sort of what I wanted to do in the world of Thedas, and I lost the character sheet, as sometimes happens when you do things and have a lot of clutter and rearrange the workspace. So this isn't going to be a big explaining what the world of Dragon Age Thedas is, the political machinations, all the lore. There's video games, there's books, there's comics, there's loads of people on YouTube and all of the internet that will share opinions and thoughts on the Dragon Age series. I love the Dragon Age universe. I've liked all the games, save for one, and it's probably not the one that you're thinking of, but it's more. Yeah, we don't need to get into that. Anyways, so character creation. Start with a character concept. I already have a rough character concept idea. It's going to be a human rogue who flees Kirkwall after the chantry there explodes and really kicks off the Mage Templar War. So that's sort of the initial concept. Determine abilities. We will roll the 3d6, mark down our abilities. They say, go from top to bottom for your stats. I don't typically like doing that. I will roll what I have and then assign them where I think they will do the most good. And with solo characters, I am giving myself 2 free rerolls. If it comes up 3, it's not the best. I don't mind taking like a penalty or something like that lower, but if I'm rolling up a character and has 3 3s, I might as well just start over and create a new character at that point. All right, so first roll, and I've got my lucky Warhammer 40k gold dice that have never, ever, ever once steered me wrong. Okay, 15. Yep, gotta be in the dish. 14. So far, pretty dang good. 5. I spoke too soon. Another 15. How many of these do I roll? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Halfway there. 10. Let's see here. 7. See, I don't mind taking the 7. Kind of bummed about the 5. 12, 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, last one. 5 and 5 is 10. I am going to use that 1 reroll on the 5, though. Alright, so 5 to 10. Alright. So it's not superhuman character. Okay, and then it says starting ability. This is the actual number that you'll want to be using, and it is your -2s, your bonuses, So let's see here. 3, 3. 17 is also 3. 18 is where you get the 4. 1, 1, 1. 14's a 2. 7's a 0. Okay. So up next, backgrounds. What I like with backgrounds in this is it actually gives you the culture, not just like, oh, you were a smith. Like let's see here, Ander, survivor from the Anderfells is a nation in northwest Thedas, distant and remote from Ferelden. It's the home of the Grey Warden headquarters of Weishaupt. There's one apostate, which is kind of like a rogue mage. Elf apostate, human apostate, Antivan wayfarer. Was sort of thinking this, but oh yeah, my caricature rolled up this name a while ago, Acer Varus. So right down here. How did I spell that? ACCERERRIS. Background. I had him be a free marcher because shoot, I forgot the name of the place. In Dragon Age 2, Kirkwall. Kirkwall, that's where it starts. So he was born and raised in Kirkwall. One of his parents is Antivan. So it gives you a little free marchers continued over here. Let's see here. Yep. Choose to play a free marcher. Modify your character following. Add 1 to cunning. It's a little bit glary from the light. 1 to cunning. Pick one of the following ability focuses: cunning, evaluation, communication, bargaining. Can speak and read the trade tongue. And your class is either rogue or warrior. So you pretty much have to pick a background as a mage to play as a mage. There's 3 classes: warrior, rogue, and mage. So I should write down here +1 cunning. And I'm going to say communications bargaining. Calm. Bargaining to have a focus on. Read and write the trade tongue. It's going to be a rogue. Going to be a daggery rogue. Okay, so now I could just choose from free marchers, but I like rolling dice, as most of us do. So 7 plus another +1 calm. And 7 again. I could just do +2 communications, but I haven't exactly allocated yet because I want to show where the when you get to the class, probably where those should go. So, okay, 4. Focus. Here. Constitution swimming. Okay. Since I am playing solo, I probably will add a few more focuses to the character to start out with. All right. But we will get to those when we get to those. And, yep, you can play as a Qunari. You can play as a elf. Yeah, there's 4 races. There's human, elf, and those are kind of broken down into, like, city elf or Dalish elf. Dwarf, who also have, like, noble dwarf, your kind of lower class dwarf, and then the surface dwarves. Okay, so with classes, did I already get to classes? Yeah. And it shows progression of experience points, which I'm going to noodle with playing solo, because I'm expecting to only play this for about 10-ish episodes of indeterminate length. Okay. Class descriptors, you have your primary abilities, secondary abilities, starting health weapon, or starting health weapons group, and class powers. And you also get focus, talents, and specializations. Mage, this is it. This is level 1 to 20, all on one page. Rogue, here we go. Primary is going to be communication, dexterity, and perception. So, communication, dexterity, perception. I have to sneeze. And you all got to hear it too. Lucky you. Alright, so 17 I think is going in dexterity for sure. And that's going to be at 3. Communication, I think we'll do at a 14. Or, yeah, communication. Actually, we'll put that at the 15 because we get the +1 to it, so that'll make it 16. And give us a 3. And I better mark these off as I go. And I think cunning, even though it's a secondary ability, put the 15 to make it 16. Give us 3. Perception, I think we'll actually give... I don't want it too low. I think magic is where we will put the 7. And that leaves us with a 14, 3 10s. I think I'm going to put the Constitution as the 14. Nope, it's going to be Perception. All right, then we have 3 10s. This 1, 1, and 1. All right, so our starting health is going to be 25 plus Constitution plus a d6. So our Constitution is 1. We will roll a d6. So we're at 26 now. Oop, got to be in the dish. So 26, 29. Okay, class rogue. Level 1. Okay, weapon groups that they can use: bows, brawling, light blades, and staves, or staves. I forgot to mark down his background. We will do that very quickly. Actually, we will do it as quickly as it needs to be. Free marcher. Age, just gonna have him be young-ish, so 22. Yes, to me, that does seem young now. Alright, back to the class. Alright, so these are the powers. They get backstab. You can inflict extra damage with an attack if you can strike an opponent from an unsuspected direction or catch them unawares. You must approach your opponent with a move action. You must win an opposed test of dexterity stealth first target's perception. If you win the test, you can use your major action this round to backstab him. This is an attack with a +2 bonus to the attack roll that inflicts a +1d6 extra damage. You cannot backstab an enemy that you begin your turn adjacent to, but see buff power at level 4. Power source right here, backstab. That is Dex Stealth versus Perception Seeing. +2 attack. And 1d6 X damage. Okay, then we have Rogue's Armor. You are at home in leather armor. You ignore the armor penalty of leather armor altogether. It affects neither your speed or dexterity. Alright, so that's no penalty. And starting talents. You become a novice in one of the following talents: contact, scouting, or thievery. See Chapter 3 for focus, talents, and specializations for information. I think it's going to be scouting. Actually, let's go to Chapter 3 and take a look at those. Those are the specializations. Cunning, focus. Talents. Here we go. Contacts. You know people, sometimes in the unlikeliest of places. Novice, you attempt to make contact out of an NPC with a successful communication persuasion test. That actually might be it. Let's just go check out scouting really quick. You are skilled in the art of reconnaissance. Get the lay of the land. I can reroll. If I fail a dexterity stealth test, I can reroll it, but must take the second roll. I get advantage for getting the lay of the land. I think we're going to go scouting just because... let's do... Uh, let's do the contacts. Here we go. This is the correct talent. Contacts. All right, and he would be a novice. So make a contact out of an NPC. The GM will set the target number based on the likelihood of you knowing the NPC, having mutual friends. The more distance the NPC's homeland or social class is from you, the more difficult the test will be. The contact will be friendly to you, but won't get out of the way to help you without additional motivation. You can make a contact out of an NPC, or you can't make a contact out of an NPC who already dislikes you or is an enemy. I think we're going to go scouting instead, because scouting gives us a very good bonus right off the bat. And I think that's probably what he already is in Kirkwall. He's sort of a scout. Oh yeah, and it does have requirements. You must have dexterity 2 or higher. Which our dexterity is 3, thankfully. So that's advantage on lay of land. And rerolls stealth. All right. So it says apprentice here. It probably should say novice, then journeyman, and then not sure what we're supposed to do with master afterwards, but we will find out. Okay, so that is the level 1 rogue. And we can get into a little bit of equipment. We have backpack. Equipment. Traveling clothes. And water skin. If you are a mage, which we are not, so we can ignore. If you are a rogue, you get light leather armor and 2 weapons. So... doesn't have arm type. Light leather. And 2 weapons. If you are a warrior, you get heavy leather and 3 weapons. You could choose bow or crossbow and get a quiver of 20 arrows or bolts. If you have the weapon and shield talent, you get a medium shield. We do not have a shield. We are a rogue. We will be using 2 daggers, more than like. Alright, so defense is 10 plus dexterity. So 10 plus 3 is 13, last I checked. Speed, and we are a human. I never really understood what, like, height and weight on the sheet, but I don't know. That's just me. So human speed is 10 plus dex, minus armor penalty, which we will not be having today. Whoop. Okay, now we should be back working. Haha. Okay. So, speed. Human, 10 plus dex, 13. Dwarves are slower, elves are speedier, and Kunari are just like humans, except they have dragon horns. Names. Didn't bother. I just thought Acer Varus sounded cool, and so I did. But they do have a list of names, like Orlesian names, which is like the settings, kind of France. Navarra I think, is sort of like more Italian. Ferelden is your medieval European England. Ravani is sort of like Spanish, and Tevan is sort of Mediterranean. Tevinter, very Roman-esque. They have a lot of Latinate style words. Goals, ties. Ties are really good for this in a group. Tying characters to one another. Player basics. Tools of the trade. Yep, there's combat encounters, exploration encounters, role-playing encounters. So what Dragon Age does that I absolutely adore is you get 3 dice. One is significantly different, and that is your dragon dice. So we roll them, we add it together. It has to beat a target number. So 2, 3, 4, that would be a total of 9. I'm going to roll until I get a double, which I probably won't do. Okay, here we go. We've got 2 6s. So that will generate stunt points. And the stunt points that generate is the total of what you get on the dragon dice. We got the little Martell Sun and Spear, so that's a 6. So from this, it would be a 16, which more than likely is going to succeed. The target numbers are fairly reasonable. Routine is like a 7, so what was that? 16? So yeah, that would beat a hard test. Let's put those back over there. Plus the ability, plus focus. Okay. Have we gotten to focuses yet? Nope, we're still in part 2. Oh, yep. That's where it shows the difficulty, and earlier I had written out a whole bunch of information on cards. I will be making a Dragon Age GM screen later, and it has a list of major and minor actions, which I am a big fan of. Killing characters, mounted combat, combat stunts. So like with that 6, I could inflict a lethal blow, so I would add 2d6 damage to the attack. All right, then we have ability focuses. All right, hang on just a minute, folks. Okay, folks, a little bit of hiccup with the recording and life happening. So, picking back up, which for you would have been just, we were just here. I had decided to start this solo game with Acer Varus at level 3. Let's see. I think what I had previously been talking about was focuses, and those are the things like the bargaining and the swimming that we had rolled up and were part of our background. That gives us a +2 to the roll. So if I were doing a communications bargaining with a character trying to get information or get some more supplies, I would roll the 3d6 and add 3 for communications, since it's a primary, and +2 for bargaining. It sort of narrows down the intent of the roll. So it could be just communications, but it's communications bargaining. So I would roll. Okay, let's see here. 9, 14, +3 is 17, +2 from bargaining would be 19. So if it was a imposing test, it would have just beat it. So the focuses are very good for specializing your character, making them differentiate between like other rogues. Some rogues might not be very good at communications, and maybe they wouldn't have bargaining. Maybe they're better at perception. Right now, I don't have any focuses, but I have a 2. So if I was trying to see something, like active perception, essentially, I would. Oh my gosh. Okay, so 6 + 6 is 12, plus 5 is 17, plus the 2 from perception is a 19, and it's double sixes, so I generate stunt points. So that is really good. All right. So, what else? I got weapons. I gave myself 2 daggers and 2 short swords, or a short sword, in case it kind of comes down to like a, just one blade, not dual wielding daggers. Throwing knives. I don't have like a ammunition track of throwing knives. It's just kind of, he has enough throwing knives on him for being in combat. All right, so level 3. Trying to. Did give myself a few more focuses. Stealth, light blades, and I wrote Legerdemain on there because I switched around, gave him heavy leather plus pockets, which the pockets give him a +1 to +1 to Legerdemain. Didn't pick it as a focus, but I wanted to denote it. Okay, and I also gave him another talent, which was thrown weapon. So that's a +1 attack to thrown weapons at apprentice level. And so he has range weapon, throwing knives, dex +6, which I'm just saying like dex is the skill, but +6 is what I would add to the roll. So let's see here. 4, 9 +6 is 15. If that was a hard check to make, or their defense was 15, that would have hit, and then just rolled 6 points of damage, which I believe armor reduces the damage taken. I'm going to double check that. All right, so if we were going from level 1 to level 2, first thing we're going to do is increase health. And it is 1 plus Constitution. Or, 1d6 plus Constitution. So that's 4. His Constitution is 1, so +5. That would bring it up to 34. Okay, and advancements. Get 1 advancement to spend on 1 ability. When you gain an even number level, you must spend it on a primary ability. When you gain an odd number level, you must spend it on a secondary ability. So I'm going to say that the thrown weapon is going to be that advancement. hang on. Am I reading that right? One ability. Oh. That's a talent. These are abilities. And I think the ability that we're going to spend on even is going to be dexterity. So we're going to bring it up to 4. Okay. Oops, I might have gotten that wrong. So number of advancements required. So to go from level -1 to 5 is 1. 6 to 8. Maybe I'm not understanding that right. Okay, so the ability, that's this. It's not like it goes from 17 to 18, and that gives me the +4. Yeah. Once again, the 3d6 numbers don't matter after you roll them. So if I were to take this from 4 to 5, I would just need 1 advancement. And that is what I'm going to do for dexterity. So dexterity goes up. So it's 5. Then those are light blades. Actually, go back and look at weapons here. Okay, so light blades. The light blade group does have throwing knife. So it's the 5 plus the 2 plus the 1 from the skill. So that is not 7. That is 8. 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1. Okay. So that's the advancement. Okay, can pick 1 new ability focus when you gain even number level. You must choose a focus from one of your primary abilities. I'm going to say that's Legerdemain. Because I already have it from the Pockets Armor. Might as well, keep pumping it in. You get an odd number. You choose a focus from one of your secondary abilities. Starting at 11, you can select a focus you already have and increase its bonus from +2 to +3. Okay. You gain class powers for your new level. You can find them in class description. In addition to specific class powers, all characters gain the following benefits at level 11. A +1 bonus when generating stump points. If you roll a stump point and have a 6 on your dragon dice, for example, you have 7 stump points instead. But we don't have to worry about that because we're just going to level 3 at the moment. So level 2, become more adept at finding weak spots in opponent's armor. You can perform the Pierce Armor stunt for 1 stunt point instead of 2. All right, so I just wrote that in, and that looks like everything we have for level 2. Now let's go to level 3, and it's just rinse and repeat. 4 plus 1, so that's another 5. So we are sitting at 39. 39 hit points at level 3. And we increase the ability of, on an odd level, it needs to be a secondary ability. So I'm thinking not perception, not strength, willpower, Constitution. Constitution is going to go up to 2. Okay. And a new ability focus, but it needs to be from one of our secondary abilities. Here, combat stunts. Where is Pierce? Pierce armor. Find a cheek in the armor. The armor rating is half, rounded down versus the attack. Awesome. Okay, so what does cunning look like? Is there anything cool in cunning? Religious lore, writing, poison lore kind of sounds cool. Cultural lore. What about constitution? Drinking, rowing, running. Running might be good. Running is on the short list. Magic, not a mage, so let's see here. Perception, that is one of our things. Strength. Axes, spears. Nothing that we really use. Jumping might be good. Willpower, courage. Ooh. I think we're going to go willpower, morale. So maintaining good spirits and confidence in yourself or your group. NPCs tend to use this focus more than player characters. Well, it's not an earthquake. I just bumped the stand. We're all good down here. So I think that's what we're going to do. Since it is going to be a solo character, it's going to be a lot of NPC interactions. I think that would definitely be more beneficial. Okay, so now we go to what does a rogue get at level 3? Become a novice in a new talent or gain a degree in a talent you already have. So did the throne. Maybe I'll just add one on top of it. Let's go take a look at talents. Let's go music. There we go. Musician. No, I don't think we need that. Dual weapon style is pretty cool. You can either get a +1 on your melee attack rolls or +1 defense versus melee attack. Sort of like how it happened in the A Song of Ice and Fire RPG. Pretty much when Ricaro had 2 daggers out, kind of choose like, well, I can get a bonus on this attack, or I can take the bonus to defense. Really similar. Thank you, Green Ronin Publishing, for making these. Archery style? It doesn't really use a bow. Let someone else have a bow. I was really thinking thievery. Trap making. So there's not a heck of a lot for the talents. I mean, there's enough, just not terribly for rogue. There's a lot of magic stuff. I guess poison making. Yeah. The talents really benefit the mages and the fighters, I feel. I think we're going to go dual weapon because later on it has some very good stuff. Okay. Groceries are put away and we're back. All right. So secondary talent And we got to go to Antiva. We got to go to a place in Ravane. There was a place in Navarre that we went to that I can't remember the name of. Yeah, so Dragon Age of the Veilguard went to like a handful of places, but the maps were large enough to contain all the missions that you went in and did. I liked that approach as opposed to one giant open world where there's a lot of just getting to the place that you need to go to. Whereas Dragon Age 1, it was pretty very much the same. You'd go to a place like Ostagar or Lothering or Orzammar, and there'd be a map that was very self-contained, and you had all that you needed to do there fairly close together. It didn't take you 10 minutes to get from one side to the other, barring encounters and stuff like that. Okay, well. What else? The 9 different ages. We are in the 9th age, the Dragon Age. And actually, I better mark that. It is DA 9. Shucks. Oh, and it gives like histories here. Ferelden. There's a lot on Ferelden. Here's kind of a more detailed map of it. Dalish Camp. The Mage Circle Tower. Lake Calenhead Docks. Redcliffe Village. The nobility, the commoners, how they feel about elves and dwarves, the Tevinter Imperium, its its history, Orlais, political rules and such, the Dales, kind of where the elves are from, Orzammar, the last dwarven city, and their whole caste system. Lots on Orzammar. The religion, the chantry, the chant of light. Sort of, I wanted to say fantasy Catholicism, and it's yes, but also no. Dwarven beliefs, the stone, the ancestors, the elven pantheon, the creatives, and it actually lists the elven gods. The Qunari beliefs, which is kind of a, again, yes, but also no, fantasy. I almost want to say Marxism, but that's, they also have like a caste system. Like if you're not really born into, but if the higher ups decide like you're going to be a soldier, you don't get an option. Like you're trained to be a soldier, and essentially you lose your name. You're just called soldier in the Qunari language. You are what you do. It's a very interesting philosophy that I haven't seen in fantasy fiction. Not to say that it isn't there, I just haven't seen it. Avar, which are sort of the wild barbarians. What do they have here? High Ever, the unification of Ferelden, Navarre versus Orlais, the French versus Spanish necromancers, Qunari Wars. I actually need to read that a little bit because I think the Qunari are going to play a big role in this campaign. And then we move on to the Game Master section. I think all good rule books need to have a Game Master section. Doing like secret tests, just kind of general running the game. Outlining plots, subplots, how to design an encounter, how to make like a grand finale, how to wrap something up. Player environments. These are cool. Quick reference sheets. As you can see, little cards. Definitely going to be using those because they're fun to have. Doing a campaign journal, whiteboards. Uh, Different game mastering styles: adversarial, benevolent, director. I think I lean more on director side. Just there's a way this game, this story, this narrative is supposed to go. Not so much railroad, more like highway. Uh, you can go off the highway, but it's going to be rough. You'd much rather stay on the highway, but there's, room to like pass and merge. And if there's a place where you want to get off, I'm like, well, you got to turn your blinker on and we will get off. You're still staying on a road. Eventually, we will get to Disneyland. Yeah, different player types as well, or problem player types. Griefer, hack and slasher, the hanger-on, the junior thespian. Accent is not acting. I can't remember where I heard that, but I giggled like a little girl. Freewheeling, improvisation, GM rules, which abilities and focuses apply. I'm of the opinion that if the game master says, I'm like, okay, you want to do this? Roll this. That is what you roll. Don't try to argue for something that's more skill advantageous. But that's just me. I like, the game master knows what they're doing. I'm going to roll this. I also don't have any problem rolling like, I have a negative in this ability or this skill. I never want to do that. And like, yeah, I want to do that. And like, this is the thing that my character's bad at. Like, we can highlight that. It is okay. Game master do's and don'ts. Do plan ahead, describe things, challenge your players, be flexible, focus on the characters. Don't make it all about the fighting. Don't argue. Don't be mean. Don't be boring. That's kind of hard to do just because like what you think is cool might not be what they think is cool. Don't worry about it. This I think should be number one. Not arguing. Sometimes a little arguing is important. I don't think it's important to do during the game, but sometimes it needs to be done during the game. Yeah, test results, 3d6 plus ability plus focus. Basic test, and then there's advanced test, where easy is a 5, average is a 10. But then it goes up, like challenging is a 15, hard is a 20 instead of a 15, and formidable is a 25, which, oh my gosh. Yeah, there's basic tests, opposed test, pretty much. Characters D6 versus other D6. Who has the higher? 13, 9, 11. Yeah, so this would have been the higher result. Design major and minor NPCs. Conditions for surprise. Using morale, which I think is more mass combat-y. Flying combatants, because it's Dragon Age. We're going to fight a dragon at some point. I don't know when. But there will be a dragon to fight. It's very disappointing when you're playing a fantasy game and you don't fight a dragon until you're like level 13. The D&D game that I'm on hiatus in, we fought a dragon in like our 5th or 6th episode, or a session. I call our sessions episodes because that's how I think. And it was great. And the DM might have been a little bit over eager to do the dragon, because the breath weapon, I think my character had 1 hit point left and another character had maybe 2 hit points left, and the 3 other characters were just down. And we sort of did a like, wait, rewind, first time DMing. Obviously this was over your like skill threshold, which I would have been fine with it. I would have been completely fine with it. But other players were not, and that's okay. It was all resolved. Uh, Moral choices. Uh, I think that's what Dragon Age does really well, is putting your character in very, I wouldn't even say morally gray, but it's definitely, there's more moral advantageous options to choose from. And sometimes it's down to, do you take the left path or the right path? Combat math. The special sauce. Goes into exploration encounters, role-playing encounters, mass battle, which I think they did a very good job of doing this, like breaking it down to stages, opening moves, engagement, finishing moves, and you have like a couple turns in between. It's kind of a dice roll off, and you just narratively describe it. It gives like test difficulty for different like troop types, and battle size of skirmish, like 50 to 250 combatants. And like the different stages and the troops that you send in, like the primary troop type, men-at-arms, stage 1, scouts, stage 2, Mobari, knights, mages, stage 3, none, and different bonuses. Let me give a different example. It's dark fantasy. I love this. Like, no unicorns and rainbows. And I think how they describe it should be more, it's not high fantasy. It is what I consider more gritty fantasy than dark. There's definite themes of racism, classism, mage prejudice, which being a mage isn't really something that you get to choose. Like, you just kind of manifest magical abilities. It's kind of that Jedi thing where, like, oh, you're force sensitive. And guess what, bud? You're taken to the Jedi Order to be trained as a Jedi, and you really don't have much of a say in it. And you got to be careful, because the Templars, who they're sort of the mage police. Some would say the mage Gestapo. Which, I'm sorry, I keep hitting the camera stand. Yeah, that's probably going to be one of the big conflicts in this campaign, because it starts off right at the kickoff of the Mage Templar War. Okay. Campaign outline. Sketching out an ending. I think most GMs should focus a little bit more on ending, how the campaign ends, versus the beginning. I think if it were cut into a pie, the big part would be the middle, the second biggest part would be the end, and the smallest part would be the beginning. Different campaign frameworks. The Grey Wardens, running in Blight campaigns. Freedom Fighters, the Orlesian occupation of Ferelden, which is kind of take place like a few dozen years or so before the events of Dragon Age Origins. Freedom Fighters today, you'd say that's City Elves and the Elven Alienages, or the Mages, doing a mercenary campaign where you're just a group of mercenaries going out and doing missions. Political partisans, if you take like a stance, if you're a member of this sort of fraternal order of the Tevinter Imperium, you're probably going to be going against like other orders. Free agents, which kind of like mercenaries, just without the what I consider, without the uniforms and the standard pay rate. race relations. Uh, it is a very human-centric world. A lot of the other races are second-class citizens, I'd say, except for the dwarves. The dwarves are just isolationists, uh, for the most part. Yep, and they have here, yep, the Mage Templar War, the Templars' abuse of power, the mages resorting to blood magic and summoning demons, in the uh, aspirations of liberation and independence. Yeah, so it's going to be taking place during this sort of era. Local saviors. This is very Dragon Age 2 coded. You play Hawk, and I think I've said it in this video before, Dragon Age 2, my favorite of the Dragon Age games. Where you're just kind of like some schmuck who is a refugee from Ferelden, and just by doing things, going to the next bigger and better thing, 9 times out of 10, not of your own choosing, but just because that is what your character feels the right thing to do. And eventually becoming kind of known in the city, to becoming the champion of the city, to sort of, when it comes down to the Mage Templar conflict, everybody's looking to the champion to decide, like, hey, whose side is right? When the answer is, neither side is right, because both of them have very bad people on both sides, and eventually a church gets blown up, and the Cold War turns very hot very fast. And the last one is the Inquisition. There's actually a spoiler warning for Dragon Age Inquisition in this book. So this game will take place between like the end of Dragon Age 2 and maybe bleed into a little bit of Dragon Age Inquisition. I'm not sure. We'll have to see how the games and the episodes progress. Types of heroes, types of adventurers, motivating the enterers, epic campaigns, how to make yours epic, making epic villains. I feel like Dragon Age Inquisition and pretty much Dragon Age the Veilguard really fumbled their villains, because they showed the main villains right at the beginning and kept dancing around them, and had to reintroduce the main villains over and over again. Allies. Let's see here. Planning and preparation, outline, important characters, adversaries, quick references, and who are you? Record keeping. I think after here is just kind of lore, which I have a healthy disrespect for lore. More, I have a disrespect for the savage adherence to the written lore, because I know very well that the history that is written down can sometimes be wrong, and it's kind of more interesting when it's wrong. And here we go, our little beastery. We've got adversary threat levels, like levels 1 through 4. There should be minor threat level. NPCs, crazed, apostate. Just a little bit of their abilities, their bonus, speed, health, defense, weapons, spells. I think if I were to ever make a RPG, if there is a subsection for spells, it comes with a list of spell cards. Period. Dot. End of sentence. So it's already written out. You don't have to go thumbing to page, 282 every time you want to look at, Moonbeam. Brigands, yeah, this is pretty much the beastery. And the beasts. And Darkspawn. Maybe I'm not allowed to show that on YouTube. Or maybe there was enough glare. We're good. What happened? We don't know. Yeah, lots of Darkspawn. As it was the main villain for the first game. Archdemon, dragons, dragonlings, drakes, high dragons. Health of 200. Oof. What's the defense? Defense is 15. Armor rating of 11. Wyvern, spirits, shades, demons. More than likely going to be dealing with demons. Deep stalkers, glowing slime, golems. I miss that golems didn't come back in the later games, because that was a very interesting storyline with the golems in Dragon Age 1. Especially if you had the golem companion, Shale. In this thing, the Farterol, something like that. Really love the design. Really love the encounter. It was so hard my first time playing against it. Let's see, rewards, recommended experience points. I could be playing with experience points. Resolution, honorifics, essentially titles, giving different bonuses outside of classes. Scourge of the enemy, the Scourge of werewolves. Enemies of that sort suffer -3 penalty to willpower, morale, and courage tests made in opposition of that character's manifested might. Resources, monthly income, troops. Okay, so that's more the organization part. Okay, yeah, these look like just more honorifics. Weaponry, treasury. Yeah, masterwork weaponry, giving bonuses. Yeah, most you're gonna get like a +1 bonus. Like rare, you get a +2 bonus, and legendary would be a +3 bonus. Yeah, that sounds about right. And it has different elements: iron, steel, viridium, silverite for wood, elm, ash, yew, whitewood, iron bark. Armor, drake skin, iron, steel, viridium, red steel. Let's see here. Price benefits of superior goods. Temporary magic items. Lyrium potions. Basically a mana potion. I forgot about these. I forgot all about all these items. I never used them too much. And then named ones, Boots of the Outlaw. Let's see. Dragonbone Cleaver. That sounds familiar. Dragonskin Armor. Hunter's Bane Bow. Meteor Sword. Yes. Ring of Shielding. Shield of the Legion. Oh, the Legion of the Dead. Great mission in Dragon Age Origins. So yeah, named already. Pre-made rare named weapons. Definitely probably going to drop those on. Definitely probably. Armor runes. Oh yeah, enchanting runes. This is probably what they would get. Uh, let's see here. Rune of Devastation. When you wield this weapon, you gain a +1 bonus when generating stump points. However, the bonus stump point can only be spent on Mighty Blow and Lethal Blow. Silverite. Weapon inflicts +1 damage on Darkspawn. Journeyman. They get +3. Master +5. I'm trying to remember what I put on. I usually put on a Rune of Paralyzation, because if you can stop the enemy from moving, taking actions, all the better. And then it gives like a short adventure, which I might read you. I've had this book for years, and I still haven't read through all of it. Yeah, there's a couple of adventures in here. I'll probably take a look at the some of the NPCs. See what I can just steal outright. Well, there's quite a few adventures in here. And they're fairly lengthy. And good NPCs. Oh, I like it. They have little dialogue points for an NPC. Like if you try to use persuasion, if successful, fine point, well made. If unsuccessful, yes, but I'll need more or perhaps better reason than these to go to battle. I like these kind of prompts. That is useful NPC information. And we've got glossary, a little mass combat adventure there. All right. Yep. Glossary. Let's see here. Armor. Armor penalty. Armor rating. Each armor type has a numeric rating. When the character takes damage in combat, subtract the armor rating from the damage before deducting health. Penetrating damage ignores armor rating. That is why we use piercing weapons. Isn't that right, Ricaro? Gameplay reference. Pretty much if I photocopy these pages, I would just put them on the GM screen. Combat stunts. Does it have? Here we go. Standard spell stunts. Yeah, spells can generate stunts. Exploration stunts, role-playing stunts, and then the index. And that is that. I wasn't planning on going all the way through the book like that, but here we are. And here we have Acer Varus. I look forward to playing this sometime soon, hopefully. Still working on my Legend of the Five Rings character. I've sort of discovered games that are intended as a group and have a GM require a little bit more structure than just regular random roll solo games. So that is what I'm doing, just kind of creating a loose outline this time, and with a couple of like, if not A, then B. If not B, then C sort of options, just how I feel playing in the game. So there's a bit of a structure. It's a little bit more cohesive than, say, A Dance of Sand was, where it was sort of, what is the shenanigans of the week, and me figuring out how to tie it all in. All right. Well, folks, thank you for watching this as many stops and starts as it has, because I could not do this all in one sitting. Hope you all are looking forward to the Dragon Age game, the Legend of the Five Rings game, continuation with Ricaro in the next part of A Dance of Sand. Yeah, lots more coming down the road. I will see you next time. It's Johnny Mo. Be seeing you.